Well, I had no idea, which I think is actually very, very common for founders. Even if you're not a first-time founder, if you're a first-time founder raising money, it's like an absolute minefield, and you've got so many options, and you have no idea which one's the right one for you. And I think the key thing for me was initially sort of building network around this piece, and I would advise or recommend anyone who thinks at any point in their career they might have to raise investment to start building that community and network now. And that doesn't necessarily mean investors, that means, you know, advisors and people that are connected in the world with those sorts of people, so they can add a sort of like network effect for your community to reach those sorts of people. Because when you're doing a standing start and you need money, you know, within like a couple of months, you're not like, it's a non-starter. I wouldn't even bother, because unless you know you've got one person who can get you into one place that will just like give you a ticket. I just think it's really, really unlikely that you'll get anywhere, because also everyone operates really differently, and some people will accept intros, some people will accept, you know, they've got open door policies and they'll take every pitch. But the likelihood that most of them are like oversubscribed and will not get back to you for months is really high. So we decided to focus on angel investors because firstly, because we were really early stage, we were pre-product, we were essentially pre-revenue as well, because even though we'd run these tests as an sort of agency service, most of them were tests, so we didn't charge a huge amount for them. We essentially we had validation that the concept worked, but we didn't necessarily have validation that the format of delivery would work in terms of a platform. So we had, you know, a lot of black marks against us, I suppose, in terms of like traction and all those sorts of things. So we focused on angels because firstly, I think there's a much bigger focus within angel communities around investing in the founder and investing in their belief that they can, you know, even if they can't realize the vision that they've got right now, they will make something happen. And that might involve, you know, pivoting, and basically they're sort of looking, I think, to see whether you can hack it. Like, can you hack like whatever you're sort of walking into? And it was actually it was a long process. The first thing we did was build a deck, and I think by the end of when we closed the round, the deck was completely unrecognizable from what it was to begin with, because it probably changed about 100 times throughout the process. And we were also doing this in the middle of COVID, so everything was online, which, to be fair, was not the worst thing in the world, because you can get more calls in a day rather than running around various cities and stuff to try and meet people in person. But it was really tough. You get so many no's, and it's really demoralizing sometimes, and you're basically like laying yourself bare for people, and there are times when you just think to yourself, like, this isn't going to come off, and am I even doing the right thing? Should I then consider maybe another form of funding, or should I look at loans, or those sorts of things? So it was a really long journey, and we were really lucky with the investors that we did get on board, because they took a sort of punt on us at a really early stage. Yeah, it took much longer than I wanted it to. It was a real grind. You have to go full time into it. I couldn't really do much else in the business other than do that. So if you don't have any money to like pay your team, you're basically just fundraising until you're ready to go. And it was tough.